might have not had an intro, but I have part 2 of our terrarium build. So welcome back. If you've not seen part 1, we are building a terrarium or a reptile house, but it has amphibians, so we're calling it a terrarium. If you've not seen part 1, you don't really have to have seen it, but part 1 is the interior basically, and now we're doing the exterior. I will say that there's not a lot of trees around in the end, but the front took a long time. I really struggled with it, and it's actually, I think, the first thing that I built that I was questioning while I was building it, like, will this come together? And in the end, I really, really like it. There's been some stuff where I'm like, I wasn't really feeling it while I was building it, and I wasn't the happiest with it, but now I think this from the front looks so good. I'm so happy with how it turned out, but it took a while to get there. I try to cut out all the repetitive stuff. There's also a lot of like turning and just looking at it. So all of that I try to cut away, and then there's a lot of repetitive stuff with like small decorations and such, but so this has a lot of jumps in terms of cuts in the video, which I hope aren't too like confusing or annoying, but we're mainly working on the front anyway, so we're not really moving around within the build, so I hope that it's all clear where we are. So yeah, like I said, we're basically only working on the front here, and it was a roller coaster. I wish I could have used these bridge pieces. I think they look really cool up front, but in the end I just couldn't hide them in a way that I was happy with them, so they had to go basically, so don't get attached to them, they're not gonna stay, but I do really like how it looks in the end. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, this was the first time that this happened for the things that I was posting on the channel, where I was like, I don't know if that is it. I don't know if I'll have to change something like really much. And it's also the first time in a long time that I actually had to go in and search for inspiration while I was building. Usually inspiration to me is more like I'm on Pinterest and see something and it inspires me to do something totally different, but I'm just inspired by seeing what other people do, if that makes sense. So not really like recreating anything, it can be something totally different, but I'm just like, wow, some people are so creative, I want to be creative now, and then I do something. But this, I actually like Googled for a specific like buildings, and trying to, use some stylistic things of that. So I was really, really struggling on what to do with this, despite, I don't know, I had an idea for it, but it didn't work. And yeah, I think in the end it looks pretty like noble and fancy, but we will talk about that when we do the real-time part. So for now, I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting to talk about, it being sort of hard to do, because usually I'm just like, this is the build and I will talk about other stuff now, but yeah, this was hard. I tried to incorporate more of the like these like decorational things. Some of them are sandstone, some of them are concrete. I don't know who made that decision, but if you search for them, some of them are in the concrete and some of them are in the sandstone, but they look like they belong together. And for the first house, the penguin house, I used a lot of them and they look really cool together, and I'm really also, the bricks are really growing on me. I originally, when I first got the game originally, and also originally when I started this specific zoo, I was kind of like, they don't look good, they are too bright, but I don't know, they're growing on me, and I do think that the interior looks awful in terms of colors, but it's kind of what I was going for. So it's this like muddy teal and the red of the bricks. I don't like it, but I don't know, I purposefully don't like it, if that makes sense. So I don't think it looks pretty, I do think it looks like I intended it to look. But yeah, I'm, like I said, very excited to make this over. Then in the back of this, if you've seen the first one, you know what I'm talking about, and if not, I'll explain it briefly, I hope. In the back there is a big window, and I'm not the happiest with how the back side looks. It doesn't look great. There's also nothing really behind it, so you just kind of look down into trees. But yeah, I don't know, it is what it is. I really wanted the back to have this window. That was what I originally envisioned for this, and I will stick with it, and I think it will be a cool feature to do when you modernize this. However, it's not my favorite part of it, but I do think it looks good, and the front looks so good that I can just, I don't know. So you see me use a custom font here, which I've actually not done, I think, on here. So that will be linked down below, and I think this is also the point where it started to come together. This was the point where I was like, oh, okay, I got this. I can do this. So once I put in this like darker backdrop for the font, it kind of flicked something in my brain where I was like, oh, I can use darker colors. That will make it look in another way, and it'll look different but good. So allowing myself to use the darker colors all of a sudden, that just helped. And so you can like totally see me approach this differently up from that point, from having the visual of this like golden font that was kind of like more intricate, because I originally had the game font there and it's sort of more modern and clunky, but having this like custom font really changed it for me. So thank you to that custom font. I'm not sure who made it though, but I will have that in description. And yeah, I mean, the foliage work, I think we're not gonna get to that yet. Right now we're working on the stairs. They are pretty like standard, but I had to cover up the sides of the path. You know what I mean? I had to cover them up, so we'll change something about that. And then we do a bit of a railing, which you have to tell me. I do think they look sort of too modern, but I'm very bad at building fences, so I want to have them the way that they are. But I am aware that, like, I want to keep them, but I'm aware that they could be a little more old looking. They look pretty modern, I think. But nevertheless, I wanted a railing because I always try to include this type of things, because I know that it's not, not everyone can just like go upstairs without, holding on to a railing. I think I've said it before that I try to always keep that in mind, because my mom has a defect in her ear, so she struggles a lot with keeping her balance. So for her, every staircase that she has to take that doesn't have a proper railing is like super stressful. And it's not just like physically hard to do, but it's also stressful because you're constantly thinking, I'm gonna fall. So I don't know, that's why I always try to, when I use stairs or like steep paths, I always want this railing. Obviously, ideally nowadays you would do everything without stairs or a way around the stairs, but I think for this old time thing, back in the day people didn't really pay attention to that kind of stuff that much, so it's definitely better the way that it is done now. But for this, I only have stairs. But I at least wanted stairs with railings, because guess what, old people existed always. Well, that's stupid. People that couldn't use stairs also always existed, so I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I've talked about it before, that I do use stairs in this more. I'm not sure if I didn't. Well, no, I did. And these planters, they don't make that much sense because nobody could take care of this the plants that are in there. But I don't know. I think they look nice. It needed something out there, and I'm probably going to put in some lamps later on. But it does have like street lamps in front, so I just thought that was enough. But I think that we will do an entire episode. Actually, for each of the zoos, we will have an entire episode of just going through it and placing lights to make the zoo come together when it's dark. But I don't like to do that just like when I regularly build, because it kind of takes me out of it. So we'll do a dedicated, every now and then we can do a dedicated little video on just going through our zoos and working on lights. There's some little planters out front that we're doing. They're nothing special. They're also a bit like small. But I do think they frame it quite nicely, and we have a bench out front and some you know, I don't know. It's nice. It's sweet. I do quite love the front, and I don't think I will change the front. Even when I modernize this is a pretty front. I'm happy with it. If you don't like it, that's okay. I do. I like it enough for both of us. But yeah. So, little planters. And I think we're almost, no, a couple of minutes. I don't know what we're doing. I thought we were done. I think we're just cleaning up because there's a lot of things that I just pull to the side. I always do that, that thing of like, when I don't like something but I'm not sure I want to delete it, I just pull it into one direction so I can pull it back, or like, yeah, get it back when I do want to continue to use it. So there was a lot of floating things around there, which I was cleaning up, and then, you know, placing the street lights and the benches, and I don't know what else I did here. Some flowers, okay, what are we doing? Oh, the doors, right. The doors were chef's kiss. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the doors, but when I saw the doors that I end up using just like in-game doors, and they are perfect. When I tell you these doors were made for this, they were. I wanted to do customs, but they were so perfect. Like, you will see how once they are placed, they tie the whole thing together. And it's like these doors were meant to be there. Like, I can't believe how good they are. They are slightly modern, but I do think with the entire context of this, they aren't modern. They are perfect. Okay, I really built a case for them here. I think you're probably really, like, anticipating. Look at them! Tell me they're not perfect for this. I do think that if you look at it from the entire, everything from the building, it's so good. They are so good for this. Like, I didn't plan on using them. They just came in and saved the day. So here we are, doing the real-time part. Actually, I talked for too long. Alright, now let's get started with the real-time part. It's not going to be very long. Well, maybe. So, first, we're going to look at the front and look at the back in color, and then we're going to do a little tour in black and white because I realized we didn't do that in the first part of this, so we didn't look at the interior in black and white. So we're going to do all of that in this finished little tour of this two-potter. So first of all, I still think this is so... It's different than what I wanted it to be, but I still love it, and I still love the doors. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you like it too. I mean, the roof doesn't make this we should be deleting. There's something floating here too, I realized, that we're gonna just get rid of for now. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So, wait. The roof doesn't make that much sense, but we're not looking at it from the roof. The back, I mean, it's not horrible, but, it needs something down the middle, I feel like. But I do want that sort of, like, almost like a winter garden look to it, so yeah, we'll do something about it. However, I don't think that we will even really need to, because I don't think the path... I kind of want to loop it around here and not have it come too close, so you would technically see it from here, probably, and potentially something in front of it as well. So, I don't know. I don't think we will really have to worry about that. And then this little hole will fill up when we're working on this area that I've already planned ahead. So, but yeah, I think the front makes up for the kind of boring back. But, like I promised, we will have a little bit of a walkie walk here. So, oh, look at that. Look at it. I love it. Alright. Let's put on, not this filter, this filter, and this little thing here. Wait. Oh, wait, we didn't turn it on. That is so confusing. Oh, this is what I wanted. Okay. So, not this, this. All right. So, welcome in our black and white, welcome in the past. In black and white, for some reason, it kind of looks like a Western movie, like a saloon in a weird way. But yeah. Okay, so let's go in through the beautiful doors. And we're inside. I did do a kind of a little bit of a, not really backstage, but like I figured if someone is touring this and wants to see if I did do backstage, then sort of. But yeah, let us go in here. Oh, it's very dark. It's hard to see, but there we go. This is, I'll do this kind of quickly. By the way, I found this thing after the fact, and I figured it looked like a cute mosaic, and it kind of fitted this. So, yeah. Let's look at what those guys are doing in the past. And those over here. And like I said, I like it from the inside. I do think from the inside this looks cool. I also worked a little bit on the trimming of the windows to make them a bit more detailed. Excuse me, I didn't mean to step into your home. But yeah, I like it from the inside, and that is what matters. So, and then these little drove caimans, and another row of terrariums. You can. Is that the camera light? The camera light actually that is crazy. I did not know this. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I guess that's all. Let's get out of here. Kind of have a little bit of an overview in the black and white. And yeah. From the back. Right. I don't know. I'm okay with the back. I am finding my peace with the back. But yeah, let's kind of, for the finishing moments, let's get out of this. No. It always seems way too colorful once you get out of the black and white filter. But yeah, I hope that you liked it. I hope that you too like how it turned out in the end despite my struggles. And I hope to see you around another time for another video. Bye!